About 10 minutes into the meeting, so at least now. First of all, thank you all for being a part of the Transportation Department. Many of you, especially part-time drivers, have rich backgrounds, and you could take a job with higher pay, a lot of different places, and you choose to work here and help out special needs, and that's commendable. Really fortunate that we're able to do that. So I want to know you to know you're much appreciated. However, I have to start with bad news. Nobody's gonna like this. Oh yeah, everybody will like this. Remember how you're supposed to never be in a hurry? In all my safe driving classes, number one is don't be in a hurry, ever. Well, you gotta start driving 10 miles an hour on the drive coming in and out. Everybody. The 10 miles is posted 10 miles an hour, and everybody goes 20. I do too, because that's what's comfortable. But you still feel it's safe. That's what I do. But they want us to all start driving 10 miles an hour.
Do you have a speedometer on your bike?
I don't come that way. That's why, because I'd be speeding. You see that it's excruciatingly slow. I tried it once, and it's excruciatingly slow, but that's okay. We're not in a hurry. We got time, right? And people are behind you are going to get frustrated because you're going so slow, but that's a way of teaching them. They got to go slow too, you know? They want to start enforcing that 10 mile an hour speed limit. Okay. Any questions about that? I know it's going to be a giant pain in the rear, but.
Radar patrol?
Yeah, they're going to get a sign out there, one of these electronic signs to let you know how
Oh,
fast
there
you're
you
going.
go.
Yeah, don't try to do that.
Well, thanks for volunteering, Rich.
Yeah.
You'll be the monitor.
COVID measures, like, you know, they got 5 homes here that are locked down due to COVID. They would appreciate it if we would start doing what we used to do, spray down the buses. I guess we'll have to get some bottles and stuff like that. We got to spray bottles of hydrogen peroxide, actually a diluted solution of hydrogen peroxide. At the end of the day, you just spray down all the seats and everything, and just let it go. You don't wipe it off. You just let it stay there because it kills all the germs over time. Overnight, it'll kill them all. So it's pretty effective.
So at the end of every route, would you say?
To the end of the day.
End of the day.
End of the day, yeah.
What
I
homes,
think
what
before-
homes are out?
What?
What homes are out?
There.
I'm sorry.
Wi-Fi.
Bonaventure, St. Elizabeth.
Oh, yeah, that's
St.
fine,
Louis,
that's fine.
and Lourdes.
Oh, okay.
So if there, any of those are on your route that you're on, then, and I think 3 of them aren't on our route. We don't do anything with St. Rose, I don't think.
Fredericks, so they aren't,
Or Lourdes. Excel brings Lourdes in, and Frederick transports themselves. So it's really just Bonaventure and St.
And
Elizabeth
Bonaventure, yeah.
that we have to worry about. If you go to,
Frederick.
what's that?
if you go to Bonaventure or St. Elizabeth on a route, they're not to be picked up because they're locked down.
Or Fredericks.
Or
Frederick, you
Frederick,
won't have a drop off, yeah.
but they drive themselves, so it's really.
Oh, no, I take them,
We take them back.
we take them back at night.
Oh, you do? Frederick?
We take
Oh, I didn't know
Frederick
that.
back.
Oh, okay.
There's 4 there.
Then they won't be
The
here.
other route.
So tomorrow they will not be on.
Nope. Just for the rest of this week.
Any other ones on that route? I don't know. Okay,
You got 4 there, yeah.
where's David on?
David's on
Where's he?
Route 1. Route 1 in the afternoon.
What house is he in?
Oh,
Dower.
Dower.
Okay.
It's not up there. So far, that's all there is. There could be more.
Okay, just so I got it straight.
What I hear is they're having other clients tested, so there could be other homes. All right. John is here. He's been here 2 weeks, but his first meeting is made, so welcome, John.
Thank you.
He's your new boss, so be nice to him. He's still learning the job that Celia did, so it's a complex undertaking. Right, John? Yeah, he's mastering it well. So, driver, I had on the list here, we need a second driver to the gala. Joanne was going to do it, but she came down with COVID this week, and I think tomorrow she can start coming back and working again. She's got to wear a mask, and they didn't really want her wearing a mask to the gala, so they wanted us to get another driver. But I talked to Pat this morning, and he's going to do it. So. Drivers, it's interesting. I got an email from Rebecca. That's her name. Rebecca up on HR to terminate Stephen. And I says, why, did he quit? And then she come back and said, no, he couldn't be hired because of the medical problem. Remember, he only lasted not even a day. But it's the other guy, Terry. Remember Terry?
Oh,
Yeah, I think she's got it screwed up.
they shot the wrong guy?
Yeah, shot the wrong guy. That's funny. So I'm glad that you
That
showed
one,
up. Glad you showed up today. Okay, last thing I want to do, any questions so far as
Nope.
what we talked about? Is every time I have a senior leader presentation, I give the same presentation to the drivers, just so communication is better that way. I don't want to tell them anything, I don't tell you. So, and also the second page of this handout is the financial statement for the month of August. And you'll notice that we, year-to-date, we are $35,000 in the hole as far as our budget.
So I suppose Steven's got to make that up?
There you go, that's why we hired you. We heard you're good at
Last
that.
guy in firing squad.
And it's primarily because of employee benefits are high, and it's the medical costs, and there's nothing any of us can do about that. And the other thing is revenue is under budgeted, right? But we have plans for increasing revenue.
So everything that's in parentheses is.
It's a negative number, yeah.
Yeah.
But we have plans for increasing that, and normally, when you, let's see,
And correct me if I'm wrong though, this is the first month of operation, because you.
no,
technically-
second month, July's the first month of
July
the
is
year.
the first one, okay.
Yeah. We did pretty good, get 35,000 in the hole in only 2 months.
Yeah, that's,
We're really making progress, so. But it was expected to be that way. It's going to be like a curve going up toward the end of the year. So I'm not surprised by that. But so when you want to increase your profit or improve your financial picture, the first thing you always do is look at existing customers and get rid of any that are losing your money and try to sell more to the good ones. And also, if we're going to set goals, we need to be able to monitor as we go. We got a big goal for revenue by year end, so we need to be able to monitor as we go, see where it's coming from, how fast it's growing, and all that. So I've written the software to do that, and I think it'll be in production by the end of the month. But it operates in real-time basis to calculate what we're earning. So the software you use the routing software, when you end the route, it adds data to the database to calculate billing. And I talked to the lady who does the billing in finance and the CFO about how that actually works up there, how they do the calculations. So I know, and I put it all into the software. And it's real time, so it's cumulative through the month. And what you get on the left side here is a listing of all the people we bill. All the MCOs, the managed care organizations that pay the bills for the clients, plus people like who, VA, I guess that's the Veterans Administration, I don't know, paying for somebody. and private pays. This is just a week's worth of data, just for testing. But if I selected Inclusa, and it shows me the 6 clients that are Inclusa clients, and the number of rides we gave each one, the total miles we transported them, and the cost, what we will bill for that, all right? If you select a particular client like Jessica, it'll show you all the rides, the detail for each ride. We transported her 3 times, startup fee of $15.75, per mile charge of $2.26, and 1.65 miles for a cost of $19.48. Now you notice that's not our current rates. Our current rates are $3 or $25 startup, $3 a mile. So we're giving this Inclusa a discount. In fact, we're giving all the MCOs a discount. Why, I don't know. I just presented this to the senior leader brief to let them know how their business decision is affecting us financially. You know? There's 4 clients here that we transport that has nothing to do with Cincoletta. We pick them up at their home, take them to opportunities every day, and then take them back home. It has nothing to do with Cincoletta, but we still have to give them a discount because of their MCO, because of the managed care organization. We have some kind of agreement with them that we give them a discount. So this first client looked like it's $13 startup, $1.75 a mile. We take them 13 miles twice a day, so that's $71.50 we bill. All right. In a year's time, that's $18,000 that we bill. If we were able to bill our current rates, it'd be $33,000. So a shortfall of $14,000 just for that one client. All right. These 4 that I selected, it's a total shortfall of $57,000. So $50,000 contribution we're making to the MCO's coffers. You know?
And they all live in Palmyra.
They all live in Palmyra, and there's more than just 4 altogether.
Well, there's more,
Yeah.
besides that, but
Yeah.
there's no,
But it seems kind of silly to me that even though they have nothing to do with St. Coletta, just because it's the same MCO that a lot of our clients have, we got to give them a reduced rate.
MCOs make bank, they report profits
Yeah.
every single quarter. My wife worked for Inclusa.
Oh, yeah.
Every quarter, everyone,
They
no
make
matter
big-
how bad or how good they were, they got a raise.
They were
because
so
got-
attractive at the profits they're making that they all 4 got buyout offers from for-profit companies, insurance companies. All right? So at least they know now. I don't know. And another piece of information that really surprised me, can't see that. We provide 10,000 rides a quarter. 10,000 rides, that's a lot. That's why you're on the road so much. And for an average of 6.6 miles for each trip, okay? If we were able to charge our full rates for that, our revenue would be $1.8 million. Right? Our budget for the year in revenue is $550,000. So we're contributing altogether. I don't know individually yet because the software isn't in functioning long enough, but I know for a fact that we are contributing $1.2 million to the MCO's transportation costs. We're, and that's a big number. I mean, if we were able to charge our current rates, we would be having a big profit in transportation instead of losing money. Big time profits. And this is not just transportation, it's all of St. Coletta. It affects the bottom line. $1.2 million off the bottom line, it's a big chunk. Million here, million there, pretty soon you're talking about real money, you know? So anyway, they all know that now. And
So are they gonna approach the MCO?
hopefully they'll think about it and, well, it's an annual contract, I think, that they sign with them. So hopefully this will affect the negotiations for the next contract.
Do you know when the next contract is
No,
supposed to?
I don't know. I mean,
It's ongoing.
It's ongoing.
It's every year we've been battling this.
right,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, this is good information for them to take into the the negotiations, I guess. And maybe it's the right business decision, I don't know. I mean, I'm not making a business decision. So maybe it's the right one, but still, that's how it's affecting us. Be far better for us to just not transport any clients for MCOs and transport only the general public. We make a lot more money. All right, so we are in the process of increasing revenue. And one thing we've done, Al has done, I think somebody's done a few others. John's distributed a couple, about 25 of these little displays have been placed in clinics, hospitals, hospices, dentist offices, lots of different medical providers. And it's interesting that they're all within a 20-mile radius of Jefferson. And it's interesting that there's no resistance from any of them so far, I don't think, for putting them in display in their offices because they recognize the need for transportation. They want it there, so that's good. And we've gotten a lot of calls from as a result of these, but most people just checking the rates, see what it'll cost, and they don't like the rates. I don't blame them. They're big. I mean, our rates are not subsidized at all. We got to pay charge full boat because we're paying everything. We don't get a subsidy, so we charge. But still, what we charge is less than other people who have to charge full boat, like Levine and places like that. It's still lower than that. So we're the cheapest provider who has to charge full boat rates. I'd be the first to agree it's a lot of money, but it's what it costs. It's very expensive to provide transportation. And we're going to keep doing this. We got a list of 150 providers.
But Art, if we're just so darn expensive, I mean, what should our expectations for revenue really be?
I don't know.
I mean, I always thought it'd be helpful, we drive around both in our vans and private. There's a lot of providers out there. You just drive around, you see Silverside, you see Levine, you see, I mean, I see stuff last week I saw one I didn't even know. I mean, I thought it'd be helpful is, hey, put some example trips. I'm thinking like a chart, a matrix that would tell, Jefferson to Watertown. And I'd like to see where we rank up with these other 6, 7, 8 out there, just so we have a good idea where we land.
As far as prices, you
Yeah,
mean?
because I know, like for us, for Cambridge, for example, that's a pricey trip.
Yeah.
It's a that I'd probably say, I'd call you, I'd get the price, I'd say, well, thank you. And then I'm gonna look at my neighbors and look at all other alternatives besides paying that, $100 or something.
Right. No, I
So
agree.
what is there,
I agree.
so it's a long-winded way of saying, I mean, what's a reasonable cost to assess that would also be profitable?
Mm-hmm.
And then at that point, where does it compare? So you could go into places like that and say, in addition to giving the placard, is saying, and here's where we fall.
Mm-hmm. You put it on the placard, you mean? Put it
No,
on display?
just a handout. Just say, here's some examples.
Mhm. Yeah.
I just got back, okay, I was in DeVita an hour ago, okay, in Watertown. And there were 3 different, to go there, Marquardt, I didn't realize they have a.
They do?
fleet.
They
Yeah.
do provide transport?
Yeah, so I didn't realize that, but they do. And then there's another one, I saw somebody else with number 21 on his van, but I didn't see, who it was. And then, what is this other one, Home something? Another one, so I saw 3 there at DeVita. The kidney dialysis place is what it is. Because I know that place is really a lot of business, at least it was when I was in Elkhorn. Yeah, I mean, the one in Lake Geneva was just back and forth all the time.
Well, when you see different ones like that, write their names down, and I'll do the
Okay.
research and see what their rates are.
Okay.
But I set the rates about a year ago, maybe a little more than a year ago. And the way we did it was, we called them all the ones we could find was 4 of them in the area, and asked them
What?
what it would cost to take the either Janesville Hospital. That's it, just take me to Janesville Hospital. And I set the rates below all four of them. I figured that better to do that than to leave money on the table. You know, that's what you normally price, is you don't want to leave money on the table, so you're just below the competition. And maybe in this particular situation, it should be done differently, I don't know. But,
Yeah. Well, we'll find out.
yeah.
But,
find out.
yeah, then, but yeah, I saw the Marquardt, because that one was a, what do you call it, a transit.
Okay.
I think what we're talking about too is you're seeing, you know, those other vehicles on the road. You know that they're doing the managed care, and Art gave the illustration, you know, they have a contract with the managed care, so, you know, it's not nice to say, but they're losing money, you know, as well, or, you know, trying to provide that service. It's expensive. Anything you do, private pay is expensive.
Uh-huh.
Anybody that's had to, you know, help anybody or do anything when you start getting into nursing care or assisted care, transportation, I'll just tell you this, transportation is cheap compared to other care.
One thing I'll say, going off of Ken's idea to like make a sort of table of rates is, the more we know where we are with rates, I mean, we can market ourselves differently. I mean, if we are higher, then we can see if there's services that we can offer that other guys don't, that would, you know, not cost us too much, but would justify to the consumer
Well,
the
I think
extra cost.
just guaranteeing on time or it's free is one thing.
Well,
that
that
we
is
do.
definitely, it's just, it's tough. I mean, we're never gonna be the cheapest, because I know, like, there are people that come over, you know, recent arrivals, and they just buy up vans, and they have their family members run them. And like, I mean, because I mean, I lived in that culture, I lived that life. They don't have expenses here. They live in apartments with like 5 people to an apartment, and they send 75% of what they make, which isn't much here, they send it back home, and then they go home for a couple months out of the year, and then they come back and work again. So it'll be impossible with that, and going against, you know, county, whatever county the county has for transportation. I mean, we're never going to be able to be the cheapest, you know.
Well, you don't want to be the cheapest.
No.
You want to be the best.
Well, that's the
But you
thing.
want to
but-
be in the ballpark. You
Right.
have to be in the ballpark. You can't, there comes to a point where,
Well, yeah.
you know,
I think we can always be below anyone who charges full boat rates. Anyone who's not just, what do you call it? Doesn't receive a financial assistance.
And we don't, because we're still associated with the church, or we've decided that we don't want to be.
Well, how are we gonna get the financial assistance? Where are we gonna get it from? We don't have any. We got a big advantage in that we can compete with anybody because our vehicles are already capitalized, you know?
Yeah, they're already here, so.
Already here.
Yeah. Do we know the exact dollar amount that it cost us per mile to break even? I mean, do we know that number for sure?
What costs us $1 a mile to operate a shuttle, 75 cents a mile to operate a transit, and 50 cents a mile to operate a minivan.
Okay, and how many, does that include everything? Does that include the
It
driver,
Doesn't
gasoline?
include the driver, it includes gasoline, insurance, maintenance on the vehicle, and depreciation on the
Okay,
vehicle.
so the only thing it doesn't include
Is the driver.
the driver.
Right.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah, and I did, reason I came up with what I thought we could do in the way of business was, I took the last full operating year before COVID, and took all of the community rides we had at the time, and averaged them, and it was 22 rides a week on the average that we did, and the average distance was 27 miles. Which is farther than I expected, but there was enough so that the average is probably right, 27 miles a ride. So I use that as a basis.
And that's round trip, just, right?
That was, I don't know, it was per leg. Per leg. Yeah. There we go. Must be a lot of trips over here or something in there, I don't know, anyway, it was 27. So I used that as the basis to extrapolate it into the future, and, I felt with 4 part-time drivers, we could do 16 rides a day, 16 of those rides a day. And that would be a lot of revenue. That'd be enough revenue for us to break even. So that's my target to get to 16
But that's,
of those rides a day.
get those 4 because, but that's at $3 a mile,
Yeah,
that it will get us there.
yeah,
Right,
yeah. So,
okay.
Hey, I have a wish that it would be something that maybe you would consider as events. I go to Jefferson every year to the car show.
mhm.
It costs $20 to $30 to park. If you don't park there, there's other places a little cheaper, but walking all that distance before you even get to the fair is tough. So if there was a shuttle that maybe picked us up over here on the corner where a large parking lot is, for $5 a ride to the event and $5 home, and it just runs all.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, oh my
You
God,
know,
that's,
Do you know how much money they spend to park over
They
there?
park at the high school and walk. So
Yeah.
you could pick up right there at the high school.
Yeah, but I call it event.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
It is.
Transportation, where you just throw $5 in the pot and.
Yeah, and economics work too, because the shuttle holds all people. You know, our rates are the same no matter how many people we carry.
Yeah, and all day long, you're running every 15, 20 minutes, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then also, I'm real involved with Harley Davidson, as you know.
Mhm.
And up there at that Wisconsin Harley Davidson in Oconomowoc, when they have that, the anniversary party every year, oh my God, there's so much. And then now they're shuttling them from the Sawyer Road X Park and Ride all the way back over to the dealership and then back. And they're not charging anything.
Oh,
I don't know how they do that. He must be paying for it.
Yeah, you have to be.
So that's another
Gotta pay
idea, is
somebody, yeah.
event
Mhm.
shuttles.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Okay.
I've always thought that that's a good potential for us, because when you take multiple people, it's the same cost, one person or 12. So like if a nursing home wants to provide an outing for their people. In fact, the Fort Senior Center, they arrange trips for their seniors, but they don't arrange transportation. I mean, the person who arranges the trip doesn't arrange transportation. Because Laurel, up in finance, she asked me about that. Her parents were going with 3 other couples on a trip, and they did go to O'Hare. So I agreed to take them, but it's that's potential. Because there's 8 of them going, it's the cheapest way to get there is us instead of a bus or train or anything.
I know the ADRC has a lot of shuttle things going on, and then also Premier Bank, they do a lot of trips, the fire sector.
Oh, yeah.
Premier Bank does.
Okay, so that's a great idea, we need to. So, so we're doing some outreach, what I call outreach. I talked to Andy Sell, he's the Public Works Director of Fort, and he didn't have any money to get anything going, but at least he's going to spread the word that we exist and we can provide transportation. Also, Michael Lucky is assistant to the Jefferson County Administrator, had a meeting with him, and same deal, basically they don't have anything planned right now, they'd like to make some, but they know we exist, and if they have plans in the future, we'll be part of them. And I tended to...
Sorry to interrupt, does Jefferson County not have its own transportation?
No, they don't.
Because I applied here, and I also applied for Rock County to be a driver just for the county.
I guess what they would consider Jefferson County's transportation would be ADRC over
Right.
here.
So does ADRC have their own van?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
they
so
provide
that'd
all,
be the county.
They provide Meals on Wheels and stuff like that.
Yeah, they provide
That's
all-
about all that I know of, is the Meals on Wheels that, in the senior centers, you know, they bring the food to them.
well, they provide transportation too. They provide about 1,100 rides a month,
Oh, really?
yeah. Their budget is $500,000. John and I were at the 5-year meeting. There's what was it, last week or week before last, they had participated in a 5-year transportation planning meeting for Jefferson County. It was hosted by ADRC, and all the transportation providers in the area were there, talking about the issues and problems they have.
But is their transportation, their van subsidized?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's subsidized. so
The
they
only
don't-
thing that
it's
I
not
remember
self-funded.
when my mother was,
Okay.
you know, in the senior citizens place in Palmyra, is they would come on Wednesdays and take everybody in that complex to Walmart and White Rock.
Yeah, they do that. Take them to Walmart for shopping and stuff
Yeah.
like that, yeah.
But that was just once a week, and I figured,
Oh.
okay, I didn't realize they had some specific individuals.
Yeah, they got 11 drivers.
I have to go to
Okay. They got 11
Also, what
drivers.
Steve was saying about
Thanks for your
events,
input, huh?
churches too. I mean, we're St. Coletta's. Churches usually have either youth programs or other like outings that they do. And they usually, I mean, at least in our parish, we have to figure out transportation with, well, which are the families that have vans and who's willing to, you know, haul everyone. We're St. Coletta's, I mean, not even just for the Roman Catholic, any of the churches for their outings, and we already, our vans are already equipped to handle.
Ken and Al, John and I want to have a marketing meeting to create a plan for marketing. So we'd like for you two to get together with us at some point. You okay with that?
Sure.
Okay. Because not like you have never done any marketing. So, thanks.
Hey, gang.
Our vans are already equipped for anyone in the congregation who would need to use a lift or has problems
Mhm.
getting into just your regular minivan.
All right. Yep. One thing that came out of this 5-year meeting is the need for a, there's a lot of providers in the county, but they're all stand independently and aren't visible to really the county residents. So they're thinking if they have a central software system that will link them all together, and everybody can, all the citizens go to online and see what's available and book rides online, that kind of thing. Why it would be more efficient. Everybody would benefit, and everybody would get more business because of it, and it would be more efficient for everyone. So,
Good idea.
so they're going to. I'm going to be in a work group. Participate in a work group to help sketch out this software, what it would look like, and hopefully I can chair the group. I'm going to try and do that. Anyway, that'll help benefit us too because we'll be part of that. Okay, that's all I have. Anybody else?
Journey 21, that should be helping us, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we got, in fact, there was a lady
That's gotta
who's,
be helping.
who's in charge of a very large Catholic school in Milwaukee. They wanted help with transportation, but she, as it turns out, she was just too far away. And I told her we could do it, but we have to charge a surcharge. Anything past 15 miles will get it as a surcharge, and she was way on the other side of Milwaukee, so just too far.
What about the charter schools? A lot of these charter schools exist in places that we don't necessarily know, you know. I know there's, this is years ago, but we lost Mary Carter to Whitewater, to, you know, a charter school that went down there. So when those people look to do transportation, you know, either they're going to the local bus company, you know, I don't know, I mean, that they're doing it somehow.
Mhm.
So I guess that would be another idea as far as who we need to market and let people know, you
Yeah.
know, what we have available as well as the charter schools.
It would be good to know what, Dousman Transport here in town, what do they charge? And what's the contract look like? I don't know how we find out, but It'd be good to know that. Yeah. So they do well. They
Do
do.
they do parties? Dowsman
Yeah,
Transport?
yeah, it's school bus company, yeah.
If you can rent a party bus, just say, hey, I've got a party.
Right.
Or I wanna go out to the, whatever, Brewers game or whatever and see what they charge.
See what they charge you, yeah. Yeah, 'cause they do that kind of thing.
Right. The other thing is too, is these assisted living facilities, again, like, my dad lives right over here at Sunset Ridge, and they have 5 locations, 2 here, and 1 in Johnson Creek, and then West Bend and Mayville, I believe. And, you know, when I go there, I see the shuttle sitting, okay, and dormant, if you will, okay? To me, if I'm gonna, I don't have great relationships with the manager because of issues at the facility. But eventually, I'm gonna cross that bridge and say, hey, you know, I understand you guys are running your own shuttle program right now, but in the event that the day comes that you don't see it's profitable, okay, keep us in the back of your mind, because, and I bet you they would look at that in a heartbeat, put that for sale sign on that vehicle and say, you know
Yeah,
what?
I think so too.
And, you know, this is the answer. And I kind of talked about it a little bit with Art, even at the county level, is duplicated services is rather ridiculous, and that's why the software to really let other people know
Yeah.
what the need is. And then it's gonna get to a point where it's called critical masses, where you can only provide so many rides and so many hours with the equipment that you have too. So
It's gotta be split over.
there's gotta be a solution here that, you know, we all can be a part of,
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Well, we'll plan a marketing planning meeting, and anybody who wants to provide input's invited, you know,
Right.
you'd be good with, because you're so creative in the first place.
My church is very close to St. Anne's.
Oh, yeah, in Milwaukee?
Yeah, and so I see their shuttles and, or not shuttles, but they have quite a bit of transportation needs there.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe, I don't know what kind of equipment they've got over there,
Mhm.
or any, because I didn't see anything with St. Anne's on it.
Uh-huh.
But was wondering about having them be a sister to
Mhm.
our organization and what we're trying to accomplish, you
Yeah,
know?
sure.
Because you were saying about there's a possibility of some Milwaukee rides.
Yeah.
And it's just too far for us to get.
Mhm.
But if we station one of the larger vehicles at St. Anne's on certain days.
At St. Anne's Center?
Yeah.
Oh, how many darn?
It's
You
on
know-
North Avenue, 23rd and North. I
Yeah,
think.
you know Carl Kitzinger?
Well, I heard that name, but not personally.
Oh, wow, small world.
Yeah, it's a beautiful facility.
Yeah, it is, I've been in
And
there.
there's people going in and out all day long, you know,
Oh,
so,
okay,
even on the weekends, so.
yeah. Yeah, it's a beautiful place, yeah, there's a lot of good stuff. They have a class, or what do you call it, day programming there too for kids.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was just wondering if we had a, you know, relationship with them relative to transportation, you know.
Well, we do, because St. Anne's Center is part of the,
Hello. Yeah,
Big
what
road.
mod they call it, it's part of the Catholic Church, we're all in the same group,
yeah.
yeah, so. I think it's part of the Sisters of St. Francis
Mhm.
organization, right?
Yeah. Beautiful place.
Yeah, yeah, okay, good, okay, well, we'll have a planning meeting soon, and there's a lot of good ideas, so,
How far is our range that we'd pick up somebody?
we can go anywhere.
Because
Well, let me rephrase that, we can quote any, but most, if it's very far away, it's gonna be way too expensive.
there are,
Depending on the number of riders, though, but again, your illustration of taking 6 people to O'Hare, and it ended up being, you know, feasible for
Pennies,
them.
yeah.
Right. right.
Yeah, we can go to O'Hare, that far away, 2 hours, 100 miles, and pick 12 people up and bring it here, profitably.
there's a thing, there's about the people that came over in my dad's thing from South Asia. They're all getting to be dad's age. Their bodies are starting to break down. They need transportation. And my generation is kind of moving away from the traditions. They don't live close by like I do to my dad. They move, they go to college and everything. Those guys really like word of mouth. I don't know how to do planning and stuff, but if I was